Estate Militia Actual Play. The time has come to face the leaders of the Crimson Crush. Horatio and Kennel take center stage and try to keep Red Hot alive. It's time to begin episode 80. Nah, you try and survive.
After you guys finish walking in, Heat Wave is more or less in the front, and as soon as she sees you with Red Hot, she kind of grabs Horatio by the elbow and goes, "Follow me," and she leads you off into like a little side corridor that ends up just circling around to the stage itself.
All right, all right, all right.
Do you say anything to Heat Wave? Is there anything you want to do beforehand? I don't want to push this through without giving you guys the chance.
No, this is her show, so.
Kennel is going to give Red Hot a little pep talk. Just, be cool, my man. You've survived worse than this track. Is one conversation, okay? So just be cool, tell him the truth, be smooth, you're going to be fine. And yes, that's me rolling leadership on Red Hot. And he's going to get 6 extra dice on his next opposed roll.
He takes a deep breath and he calms down. He goes from like sweating bullets to actually looking like he's like, okay, I might be okay here. I might be able to do this. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. And after a little bit, she circles you guys around behind and just has you sit off to the side. Probably after 10, 15 minutes, she walks out on stage. Do any of you like peek out around the corner or anything?
I mean, Juliet's up on the balcony. She can see.
Okay. Well, you're not up on the balcony, right?
No, she's down on a walkway somewhere, but she's on the floor, an upper floor looking down. I assume there's an upper floor railing to the main theater.
Yeah, there would be. So yeah, you would see this pretty well, Juliet and Kennel or Horatio, if you kind of peek out at all. There's not a whole lot of people. Like, despite how many people were outside, like the block party that was going on, all the trucks and cars and flashy vehicles and everything, all of them in Crimson Crush colors. There's next to no one in here. There's only about 7 or 8 parked on the front row. Heatwave just goes, brothers, sisters, one of ours may have betrayed us, may have done something wrong. We're here to hear from him. If you would please keep quiet until he is done, then ask questions. We can then pass judgment. And she kind of waves over to Red Hot, and he takes another big, deep breath and steps out, and Heatwave goes and sits down. And then they begin asking him, so why were you not paying your dues? Why have you been keeping things away from the Crush? And then once Red Hot answers, things are passed back and forth. Red Hot basically tells the story of that he told you guys that he was captured for pushing in too far, made a stupid decision, got surrounded, was cut off, and eventually captured, taken in, because one of the spiders recognized who he was, and that he had been feeding them, unintentionally been feeding them information because he was trapped, and yada yada yada, all the sort of stuff that you guys had heard whenever you first rescued him that night. And after a little bit, things calm down, things get quiet, and Horatio and Kennel, you were called out on stage. One of them looks at you, a fairly big troll. All of his horns have been cracked off to where they're just like flat, or mostly flat.
Hellboy horns?
Yeah, like that. Yeah, the Hellboy horns, but like even like shorter and more stumpy. Looks like he's actually like grinded them off to keep them that way. And then he looks at you, he goes, so, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You need to tell your barber to ease up. He's going a little too tight up on top.
Shh, buddy, let me have the first word, brother.
Come on, man. That was funny, man. I've been working on that for like 4 days now.
Some of these guys don't have humor. It's a problem.
All right, Ratio. I got faith in you, baby. You do this.
Right. So I just want you to know that the Red Hot story, it's not his story. Could have been any of your stories. 'Cause he's part of us, and you're part of him. What happened to him could have happened to you. Imagine you got captured. You had a bomb in your head, and you got told what to do. What would you do? Would you blow your brain up? Would you pull your eyes out? Would you cut your own tongue off? Nah. You try and survive. And that's what Red Hot did, because he's a survivor. And you know what that represents? The Crimson Crush, because you know what the Crimson Crush are? They're survivors. And a bunch of survivors together, they make something new. They make something better. They make a kingdom, a Crush kingdom. Yeah.
Kennel's going to take the deactivated kink bomb that Improv had taken out of Red Hot. He's going to take it out of his pocket and he's going to toss it to the big troll with the ground down horns. I mean, if you
I'm
if you
so
want to see,
tempted to make you make an edge check.
if you want to see the footage of that getting pulled out of Red Hot's head, you just let me know because I got it, and he'll tap his temple right here.
He looks at you blankly, and the rest of them like somewhat expectantly, like, okay, come on.
So look, I mean, Heatwave crept up on us, and she said that she had a deal. She said, "Bring you Red Hot. He's going to tell you the story. We're here to back it up." And he's going to look at Horatio, and he's going to put his fist out for a fist bump.
Oh yeah, he gets a fist bump. Not just back it up, but rebuild what was taken, retake what was stolen, and make the Crush great again. Only better than great. We're gonna make it so we don't just hold a neighborhood, or 2 neighborhoods, or 3 neighborhoods. We hold all of Redmond. Yeah.
And they're completely quiet.
Then he looks at them and says, "To do that, we're gonna need you. We're gonna need you, and we're gonna need you, and we're gonna need Kennel, and we're gonna need me. We're gonna need Heatwave, and we're gonna need Red Hot, and we're gonna need you."
Kennel's going to snap his fingers so his dogs all come up on the stage then, because he's got to be dramatic. Like, I'm pretty sure y'all have heard about us, and you know about us, and you know who he is. I'm just saying, what could the Crush be with all of us? And he's going to gesture to Horatio himself, the dogs, and Red Hot. What could the Crush be with all of us working together?
At this point, Heatwave once again like stands up from in front of the stage and steps up the stairs. Do you have any proof?
Well, Kennel would take all of the Simrig footage in regards to Red Hot, like with the black site lab, the surgery to get the kink bomb out of his head, the conversation with Improv about what all this installed cyberware was for, even the fight with the drones.
Well, and we met the spiders, right, at that one point
Uh-huh.
when they were pretending to be Crush.
Yes, you did.
We could send that too, right? The spiders have been creeping. They've been sitting in their web. They've been spinning, and they've been spinning a web around you.
Yeah, you
Points
remember
at the crowd.
you remember when that water treatment plant done got blown up? And Kennel will just keep his eyebrows up because I'm sure it was kind of big knowledge in Redmond, given the size of the explosives we used.
It lit up the night.
Yeah,
If
and you were stopped. We're aware that was you.
Yeah, let's
That's
be
right.
clear.
That was
If it wasn't for him, and Kennel's going to point at Red Hot, we wouldn't have known about that place. We wouldn't have had the intel to get in there. We wouldn't have been able to get him out.
that's right, and that wasn't just a spider's nest. It was a knight's nest. You want the shields crawling all over around here? You want the pigs trying to pick on you?
Horatio, Kennel, we appreciate your enthusiasm. But this is about one of ours, one of us, betraying us.
No.
And there's
It's
always
about
a choice.
All right. Imagine that. He points at the bomb. That was in you. What would you do? Would you blow your own brain up? What would you do? And he points at somebody else in the crowd. Or you. Sometimes there is a choice, but sometimes there's not a choice. Sometimes the choice is how do I survive and get back with my crew.
If it
Okay,
wasn't for Red Hot,
Horatio.
we would not have built up ourselves into the crew that we are right now.
Red Hot's not saying he did nothing wrong, but it wasn't by his choice. It wasn't a choice. If you want to blame anyone, if you want to punish anyone, it should be the shields and it should be the spiders that they're working with. What
Make
makes us
me a
strong?
negotiation check with the +6 from Kennel.
All right. +6, sir.
And Kennel, you can also roll as well.
I should probably be assisting Kennel here, if you'll allow it, assuming.
You kind of been taking the lead here.
You actually have, dude. I mean, Horatio's the gang guy, so I've been letting you do it because you know this stuff a lot better than me. So, Mr. GM, with negotiation, would the bargaining spec, tailored pheromones, and first impression apply to this?
Yes. And Horatio, you can take all but the first from Kennel as well. So, Kennel, I'm actually not going to make you roll those. Just roll your base without your bonuses.
So just skill and attribute?
Yes.
And I'll add this
And-
to the +6, is that correct?
Yes. So you get +7, the leadership, the negotiate, and then whatever Kennel's tailored
If-
pheromones. And what was the other one? The specialization?
I have a specialization in bargaining. I have tailored pheromones. I have first impression. Each of those are +2.
And did you roll your specialization there? I'm sorry, that should
No,
have added in.
I did
to
not.
it. So
Would-
yeah, just roll 2 more dice.
Could I edge that by chance?
Yeah.
All right, 1 second. That's 2 whole hits.
All right, so you get a +11 to what you're rolling, Horatio. And you can also add in your solid rep here.
That's counteracted by my favored.
Ah. Yeah, that would be. I forgot you have favored. Okay, Horatio. Say we keep him alive. What does he offer? How can we trust him?
He offers info, insider info, the kind you're not going to get.
And what does that say about us?
It says we can make use of the tools that we have.
It says that the Crush actually cares about people in the Crush. They're willing to take care of them.
That's right. It says we're a family. That one individual can misstep, but our group never makes the wrong step.
Okay. One last question for Red Hot. And Horatio, I want you to answer this for Red Hot because he's your contact. He's kind of been your brainchild. I want you to answer it as Red Hot here. Okay.
All right.
Would you take back what you said about being sponsored by Corpse?
What did he say about being sponsored by a corp?
Originally, he told you. Well, it depends on when you want to talk about it. He told you at the treehouse that if you're being sponsored by a corp, you are owned by one.
Well, at this point, I think at this point, Red Hot wants to survive. He's going to say whatever he thinks is going to help him survive. And so what he's going to say is he's going to step out to the front, because he's always been a little more social, right? He's going to be in the front, take a moment, look across the crowd, and he's going to say, I ain't taking back anything. All I've ever wanted, all I've ever done is to try and see the Crush be the most powerful, most influential group that there is. All I've wanted to see is the Crush go from Bellevue to Everett, from Auburn and north. I've wanted us to have influence in Glow City. I've wanted us to own Hollywood. And if we can get allies, yes, we'll take allies. Because every group needs allies. Every group needs money. Every group needs friends. But are we going to take a collar? No. Because the Crimson Crush cannot be collared. If some group wants to put a collar around us, well then, I've experienced that. Then he taps his head. I've experienced that, and it's a bomb. It's a bomb in your brain. And at that point, all you're thinking about is surviving. But when you're the Crush, you have bigger goals. You have bigger aspirations. And then he kind of looks over at Horatio and Kennel, and those goals involve being a family, improving your lot, improving the lot of your friends, improving the lot of your brothers. And that means never accepting a yoke.
Juliet, Horatio, and Kennel, would you please make me a reaction plus intuition check?
So glad I'm on Nova Coke.
Is this a surprise test?
I don't know.
Wow.
Jeez, we suck.
Are any of you happy with the amount of successes?
Yeah.
I will edge.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 4 hits edged.
All right. You hear click, click.
Juliet, what did you do?
It wasn't me.
Someone give me edge so I can protect the principal.
I can't. I only have 1.
Only have one hit.
If you want to protect the principal, I'll let you do it without having to use edge here. In this
Yeah, he
case.
absolutely would.
I'm assuming you're protecting the principal on
On
Red
Red Hot?
Hot?
Yeah.
Okay, then. You are taking 11p.
Oh dear.
Any AP on that?
-3. And Juliet, as soon as Red Hot finishes his spiel, you see Heatwave. She turns her hand back at Red Hot's head, and you see a muzzle flash.
This was Heatwave firing?
Yeah. Remember, she her arms and her legs are all cybered out.
Oh, Juliet's just cackling internally here. I mean, she has her AK out and it's loaded with XX, but she's not really going to interfere. Other than to say by day and I, ooh, it's Heatwave.
Yeah, Horatio, you take the full brunt of the shot, and that is where we will call it this week.
That is an epic place for an ending. So
I'll be honest, you tied the threshold there to convince
Yeah.
them not to. You tied the
Oh.
threshold.
no.
I
If only I
tried.
had greater social limit.
Oh, we did what we could, though. Now we have a week of deciding, do we initiate combat? Because we just had a point-blank shot. I mean, literally, just like from Kennel's perspective, there was just a point-blank shot, and I see Horatio getting hit. So it's like, oh, God. Do we... Oh.
I just raised my charisma, and that wasn't enough to raise my social limit. So
Oh, man. Oh, this was such a fun episode.
I'm glad I brought the dog.
I've been looking forward to this little scene right here for 3 weeks. For 3 weeks, I've been waiting on it.
No, so I just got to say, like, I really wanted Kennel to take the lead just because, his limits and everything, but there's no way he could do that with Horatio. Like, Horatio is the contact with the Crush. Horatio knows what he's doing, so it's just stand there and be tall and pretty. Oh,
because what this sets us up for is taking over the Crush and becoming the king.
Yeah, just
right, because after we murder Heatwave, we're gonna be the leaders.
No, we make the Crush, what's left of the Crush, be a vassal gang to us. That's how we do it.
Ooh, yeah.
Just listen to these two. This really was Horatio's time to shine, though. And bravo.
That monologue was fantastic, man.
That wasn't good enough.
Oh no, it was great. It was honestly fantastic.
So sometimes at the ends of these episodes, I like to wax poetic about something that was going on during the time of recording, or perhaps, give you a look behind the scenes as to what was happening while we were playing the game. And I'm not going to do that today because this is a special shout out to Mr. Worthington, the kind gentleman who plays Horatio, our favorite orc banger in the Barrens. And I just have to say to you, sir, bravo on that monologue. Holy crap! Listening to it again, listening to the raw audio, it was amazing. Because normally, what I do, my job as an editor, is to take out the pauses, is to take out the the loud breathing when we're too close on the mic, the ums, okays, the stuttery words, the pauses that don't need to be there. I have to speed things up so it improves the listener experience. And I can tell you, out of that entire monologue, I think I took about 15 seconds out of it. So out of everything that you listened to, that was one take. That was a single shot. There was no let me try reading this line again. It was all off the cuff. That's what you get when you find some amazing people to play amazing characters. And to you, Worthington, goddamn. Talk about amazing.